so today we're going to be fitting this shelf. Overhead shelf, got to be screwed up to the roof. As you can see, I've got it just wedged up on some blocks and some polystyrene, just to hold it in position really while I screw it up. So let's get that installed and hopefully should go alright. Right, so that's got that bracket in and fixed up to our fixing up there, and it's quite secure. So this end I'm going to screw through this because it doesn't really need to be supported by that, because it can be supported by this shelf here, this unit here. So I'm going to drill through a couple of holes there and put some like toggle bolts in, so I'll show you those in a sec. Right, so got these bolts from B&Q. It's a threaded bar with a sort of head on each end. You drill a hole, put it through, tighten it up, and that will hold that in place quite nicely, I think. Right, so that's that shelf in now. So we secured it at that far end with the those special bolts, and then at this end we've put it up with a couple of angle brackets here and in the back corner there, and that's nice and secure. So that's that bit done. Right, finish off the wiring now. Right, so here's the wiring for the 12-volt system. Split charge relay there. Got a 50 amp circuit breaker here, 50 amp circuit breaker there, which will be for the solar panel when we get one. And then there's a 200 amp circuit breaker there, which is for the inverter, again when I get one. In the center here is a 6-way blade fuse connector box to distribute you've got lights on this side. That blue cable, or the red cable coming out there, is the power supply to the fridge, which is in the thicker 6mm cable, sorry. And then you've got the black there, which is the negatives. You've got positive and negative going to the fridge, within the thicker 6mm cable, which domestic fridges need, or else they turn themselves off, unfortunately. So right, so that's that bit. Onwards and upwards. Right, so underneath this unit is a LED strip light, which is built into the shelf, and that comes with this plug, which I'm guessing if you have the other light units for the van from Evo Designs, there must be something that this plugs into. Unfortunately, I don't have that, so I'm going to chop this end off now and put a couple of spade or ring terminals on there, so that we can fit it onto the fuse board. So let's do that. Right, so we're going to take this off and put a couple of these little terminals on, so that we can fit it to the fuse board. So let's do that. Leaking now. That's not so good. Right, so we've got this plug on here that we can't actually use, so we'll cut that off. And we'll strip the wire back. Right, just had to do a bit of minor surgery on the finger. Please forgive the noise in the background. That's my wife. She's a noisy little thing, but I love her anyway. Anyway, so we need to just bear some of this back a little bit so that we can get our connectors on, and that's quite easily done with our good friend Stan Lee. And just bear those wires back and give ourselves a bit of extra cable. Like so. Right, that should be about enough, I think. Right, chop that off there. Right, red and black, positive and negative. So what we do is we strip back the cables like so. Give them a little twist like that. Fold over the ends just to give it a bit of extra thickness. Then, because I'm a bit old-fashioned, we'll put a bit of heat shrink sleeve on, and what I like to do with that is, if I can find my pliers, there we are. What I like to do is slip on the pliers like that and just stretch it out a little bit so that it goes on the crimped end. It goes on next. Tidy that up. Get our ring. Get our crimp end. Put that on the end of the wire. These are colour coded, so you've got red, blue, yellow. We're using a red, so that goes in the first one there. Clamp it up. And come out. That's that one. Then slip over the heat shrink, heat gun. I'll just shrink that down. Like so. That just gives a bit of support to the connection there. Yeah, cool. Right, positive and negative done. So now we can connect those up to the fuse board and test the lights. So now you join me at the design phase for the bed. I'm going to go with an L-shaped bed because that gives me the best storage options. Because I had to fit this extra door for my leisure battery, or to get access to the leisure batteries, I should say. Having a rock and roll bed just didn't seem to fit with the design. So, having looked online and seen what other people have done, I'm going to sort of plagiarise an idea and a layout from I think it's Mel's Big Van. Shout out to you, anybody watching. I will try and leave a message in the comments below. But yeah, Mel's Big Van, I think it's called. He sort of builds this slatted pull-out bed, which seems to work very well. Nice and easy to build. So that's what we're going to do. I've drawn out a layout on the floor here to show where the bed is going to go. So it's going to go right the way across the back from left to right, and then down along here to here, which is about halfway through the sliding door area. So we'll just go around to the back of the van and show you a better view from there. See what you think. Right, so there we are. So it's going to go right the way across the back here, and then down there and across there, at about a height of 400 or 40 centimeters high, and then it'll have cushions on the top of that, so a nice L-shaped sofa area there with a pull-out bed that will slide across there and make into a double. That gives us about 500, half a metre width at the end of the bed. Not a great deal of space, but it's all you can get in a short wheelbase transporter. Front two seats obviously swivel, so that'll give us a bit more space as well, the feeling of a bit more space. But yeah, so I think since we last saw you, or since you last saw me, correction, fitted this unit here, which is a cigarette lighter there, and in there 2 USBs with a voltmeter in there, just to show you, just to help charge various things, iPads, phones and stuff like that. Fridge is now in place and plumbed in to the electricity, so that's now working and doing what it should do. Just there we go, little fridge light, woohoo, that'll be nice, get your beers in the dark. Right, onto the bed design. Right, that's bed frame assembled. Just got to put some finishing touches to it now. Like screw these down, every other one, so that this can slide out here and make a double bed in there. Underneath, under here, be the toilet, and then under there is storage for bedding and whatever else we need. But there, that is that section done. Okay, so turn the camera around so you can see now what we've done. Ooh, get myself in position. Right, so that is Evo 2.0 kit with extra door down there, because obviously this kit's designed to have a rock and roll bed. We've gone for an L-shaped pull-out bed, simply because it just gives us the best options for the two of us, and a bigger bed. So I've made that door down there for the battery, as you've seen in previous videos. Got the Waco Dometic fridge picked up on our local White Bay, which is a bit like eBay, but just for the Isle of Wight. 200 quid, works a treat. Similarly, we've got the Kira Vans double swivel seat base, again picked up on White Bay. 150 quid, can't go wrong. bloke fitted it, didn't like it. So yeah, so there we are. So that's that. So under here is the bed, and that simply just slides out like so. Not very easy to show you this. Slides out like that. Cushions go down like so, like that. Double bed. Simple, nice and easy, doesn't have to be expensive, and works a treat. There we are, stowed away. Whoops. And back into bench seat mode. That took all of 2 seconds to do. So, right, let's turn you around again. Right, well there we are. The last bit, I'm afraid I didn't film as much as I wanted to do, simply because it takes too long to set it all up. It's quicker just to get on and do the job rather than film you doing it, which I know isn't very helpful for this series of videos that I wanted to make covering this exercise. But we can show you what we've done and give you a walk around the sort of almost finished exercise. Just got some new cushions to get hold of and get some new cushions reupholstered. These are just the temporary ones that were out of the van before it was converted into what it is now. So luckily they sort of fit, but they're almost sort of right for what we need, but not quite. So just need to get some new cushions made, and that'll be it, finished completely. So yeah, let's show you around what we've done.